So today we did a double leg and then a foot sweep. Then from close guard we did like a cross collar into a close into an armbar, and then we did a cross collar, but sort of like reversing the order. So double leg. This is, I don't know what the professor's name is. I've had him a few times. He loves doing judo. So, and his judo or his throws to stand up is very, how do you say? It's very like abrupt. Like I don't know. It's like stuff you see real judo people doing. He is like coil like a snake and then just strikes. Bam. So he did a double leg by going down on the outside knee, and then the inside knee kind of steps in. So the inside foot, it's sort of like outside foot is lead, and then you go to the outside knee, inside knee kind of simultaneously steps in, and then so your foot is around the opponent's foot line, like the line between his feet, and then you drive that knee down, so your quad kind of drives into his crotch, and at the same time you double leg, so your inside leg driving forward gives some like horizontal force into him, and then you can either do the like a gable grip, or he call it snake hands, but it's like your hands aren't crossing, they're on the back of your opponent's legs on their respective sides, so they're not crossing, and then you can sort of drive him from one side to the other with your head at the same time. Yeah, and he said not to bring your head outside. So most of the time, I think the instruction has been that your head goes on the outside and on the double leg, and that's where you can get guillotined. But he said to keep your head on the inside, and then you so your head, if you're going on the right side, would be on the sort of right, his left torso area, and then you can drive your head from that side to the other side, so from right to left, to bring him down while you're scooping with your hands. So then the other one was a foot sweep. I think it's gari. So let's just say we're going to the right, so you get cross collar first, and then you feed to the right. So you grab cross collar with your left hand and feed that collar to your right hand high. Then your left hand grabs the wrist or sleeve, and then you need to get close to the opponent, so you can either pull him toward you or step into him, and then your right foot forms like a V with your heel on the ground behind your opponent, and then you push across. So you push sort of like from the right shoulder at a 45-degree angle over your foot. You can raise your foot. I imagine you could also, if he steps up, so if he steps over your foot, you can directly go into a single leg. And then he said if he steps back, you can then sweep the opposite leg. So I think that'd be like a gari or inside trip. So that was the foot sweep. Then the cross collar armbar. So you're in close guard, you pull him down, you do the cross collar grip. So your right hand goes to the left side lapel, with the thumb inside, and then your left hand goes across to his shoulder. So you could finish it here, but what will probably happen is your opponent will push on your left hand to relieve the pressure. So at that point, I think I'm missing this detail, right? At that point, you bring your legs over to do an armbar. But I think what happens is you grab, so you maintain the first grip, the first collar grip with your thumb on the inside. You maintain that with a strong grip, and then your left hand grabs his wrist and pulls it through, and then as you bring your legs over into the armbar, and then he said, so you're not really setting up the armbar like quote unquote properly. This is like a kind of speed kind of move, so you don't have good hooks with your legs. So in this case, you would cross your ankles, so then your top ankle would go over your left leg. So the foot coming over the head is covered by the bottom foot. So he can't push that leg over his head. And I think that's because you are not like completely perpendicular. You're kind of at an angle. I saw a video where they were talking about crossing ankles. Like most people say you're not supposed to cross your ankles, but I think that's the case if you are completely perpendicular. You don't want to cross the ankle. But if you're at an angle, then you want like the obtuse angle to be covering the acute angle, I think. Let's see. Yeah, so that was the arm bar, and then the cross collar. So normally you would go, so if your right hand is first, you would go from your right hand across left side to his right collar. You would have the thumb inside so that your thumb, outside of your thumb and outside of your wrist is tracing his neck. And then your left hand comes across on top and grabs either the collar or the shoulder, and you pull in, and you bring your elbows in. So this one, you're actually going in the opposite direction. So your left hand goes first, and it's your knuckles are up. So the other way, to get your thumb in on the inside, you want your knuckles down. So left hand goes in first, knuckles up, almost like you're punching to the side. So your left hand goes to the right side, or his left collar. And then you use that grip to pull him toward you. And then you can raise your elbow to raise his chin. And then your right hand goes through, knuckles down. Shit, this has been upside down the whole time. Your right hand goes in upside down, and then you complete the choke from there. Yes, and that's it. So I believe the grip is exactly the same at the end. It's just entering the position in the opposite order. So let's see. Yeah, and then rolls, kind of uneventful. Yeah, we had some pretty good rolls. It was much better at staying out of the back. I don't think I got really taken to the back at all. I got sort of taken to the back, but then I prevented the hooks. There's one guy that I don't think he knew what he was doing, but he was stronger than me, and I got some weird positions. But yeah, that was it.